What the fuck? Overall, the Far Cry series has been critically well received, and its latest installment, Far Cry 5, is reported to be the second biggest launch for Ubisoft, right behind 2016's The Division. In fact, the game has sold more than double that of Far Cry 4 during its opening week. But what makes Far Cry 5 so special? The game throws the player in a chaotic world that blends violence with comedy, as well as supernatural elements. On top of that, there are lots and lots of Easter eggs. In this video, I'm going to explore one of my favourite Easter eggs in the game, Bigfoot. Now, if you've had this game for a while, you're probably already aware of the Gorn, Squatch and Purpose Stash mission, but this is where we're going to start our adventure, as it'll make a good basis for this video. So we're at Dansky's cabin, and this note pretty much just says that he's heard some noises up on the lookout and gone to investigate, so let's go follow the trail. Before we take off, there's also a manuscript just pinned over here, and it basically says that Dicky's had an obsession with Bigfoot since he was a teenager. He had a summer job as a counsellor at a nearby camp, and was in charge of looking after a bunch of 12-year-olds, taking them hiking and canoeing, and that when they went backpacking in the woods they saw something they've never seen before. So just keep this recount in mind, because this will come into play in a little bit. Time to hit the road. There's a bit of blood at the track here, that's all good. A little further along you'll encounter some footprints that will disappear if you come to revisit the area later on. And some more blood as well. You'll also find a little journal entry here at the lookout. As soon as you finish reading it, listen carefully because you'll hear a scream as well as what we presume to be the Sasquatch. Yeah, it'd be great if we could ask the locals. Well, mate, have you seen Squatchy around here by any chance? You know, big, tall, hairy and scary?
We've tried to tell this Skylar girl to get out of here, but she's...
No, I'm not talking about Skylar. Anyway, pushing on, we're going to head up this rock face now. And up the top here, there's going to be a bit of a mess. An esky here. And some human remains and some dog food. Some more skeletons, so this looks like a bit of a feeding ground. And further up, there's also a dead animal. Now, I don't want to jump to conclusions and say it's Bigfoot, but come on, it's probably Bigfoot. Grappling down now, and this is where we're going to find Dicky's body. Now, here is the point of interest. Just hanging off this branch here is what looks like a life preserver. Very strange. More skeletons, and I was having a real good close-up look at this guy's body. Maybe he was pointing at something just before he died, but it doesn't look apparent. I'm going to go ahead and take this key. You'll also find a branch up here too, and if you've read up anything about Bigfoot in real life, apparently there's a thing called tree knocking that's supposed to invoke some kind of response from the guy. Yeah, but it does feel a bit silly, I'll be honest. And we have a red buoy up here too, which probably ties in with the life jacket we just saw on the branch. Bit strange, I don't know. The evidence suggests that there is a connection to water somehow, so I did a search online for any Bigfoot sightings near water. I only came up with one thing, but this image clearly seems to be photoshopped. So another dead end, and all that's left is a dead wolf and a couple more skeletons. So that's about it for this location. Back to the cabin now, and this will conclude the mission. Upon entering the cabin, you'll find a map here with all sorts of markings on it, as well as photographs pinned to the board. The guy's obviously been busy, so some notes here that you can't really read, but I'm going to have a real good look at this map. There's some interesting spots here, so I'm going to take a photo of this for future reference. And there's also what seems to be a fossilized footprint here on the table too, as well as a camera. To the left, what do we have here? A photo of what looks like my Aussie cattle dog Boomer. You can tell that it's him because they're wearing the same thing around their neck. So perhaps it's telling us that we need Boomer as a companion to find Bigfoot. Not a whole lot more worth mentioning. There is a bunch of cash here on the table, as well as a bow. Looking at these pictures, the guy likes to fish, and there was a map for fishing spots here on the table too, so maybe that ties in with the water theme I was talking about before. From Dansky's cabin, I'm going to take you to a place called Breakthrough Camp, sort of northeast from here, not too far away. And if you remember the manuscript before, it said that he was a counsellor at a nearby camp. Well, Breakthrough Camp is in fact a camp for troubled youths. So I think this is the place where he had his first sighting, so let's go check it out. So we've got a whole bunch of cabins around here. If you go around to the back side, there's a little sign here that clearly indicates canoeing, and the note said that he took him hiking and canoeing just after dinner, so it would have been dark. And here we are at night time. There is a canoe rack just over here, but yeah, maybe here, this looks like the place. He said he went camping, so maybe it was across the river. This could be where the first sighting appeared. Having a look around, there's nothing really significant that I can see. but it looks like you could set up a tent around here. On the map, it looks like there is actually a crop circle right where I'm standing. And if you compare it to the map with all the markings that Dicky made, he actually does mark out this spot on the map. So Boomer and I did spend a long time in this location, nothing happened. And if you look at this photo, maybe I'm not really good, but I just could not recreate this photo of this place. So let's hit up some other places marked on the map. This one's near the bridge. So it looks like there's some Peggy activity here, but no signs of Bigfoot. So I'm pretty certain this is it, but it just doesn't match up. Further along now, this looks right. Apparently Squatchy likes to have a bit of a drink down here. By this point I got a bit bored, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to smoke some of this oregano. Maybe it will elicit some kind of hallucination. But no such luck. So here's a new one for you. If you travel to Lansdowne Airstrip, right in the middle of the goddamn runway is a single giant footprint. Not sure what to make of it, there's no footprint behind or in front of it. So there's a total mystery. Next location, east side of the river. There's a big X marked on the map here. But sadly nothing except a clearing. So I don't know, maybe it's worth camping the night here and see what happens. The map also marks Kestrel's cabin, so I took a look, but I couldn't see any footprints and the area was pretty much uneventful. Apart from some cult activity. Speaking of activity, Dansky seems to place some importance in this wetland area. So took a look, but yeah, nothing going on here either. I did follow the stream quite a ways up. I did find a canoe here that had been abandoned, and I even followed it all the way up to the waterfall. And I checked behind the waterfall because you know, game developers like to hide stuff behind waterfalls, but not this time. At the bottom right hand corner of the map, there is a question mark with 3 outward pointing arrows. I didn't really know where to go with this, but it started at McCoy's Cabin, which is a place that sells moonshine, but unfortunately nothing Sasquatch related. Now, stepping away from Dansky's map for just a second, I want to take you to Henbane River Chalet. If you go down to cabin 4, you will notice that at the front we have some camera equipment, and inside the cabin itself there's some lighting equipment as well as another copy of the map. So I don't know what that means. Does this mean that Dicky hung out around this place? I'm trying to work out the significance of it. But yeah, there is a river. He does like to fish apparently. There's a life preserver right here. I'm wondering if there's been any sightings in this area and if it matches up with any of the photos we haven't been able to match so far. Oh jeez. It's too late for this bloke. Oh, that's hard to watch. Off to the right hand corner of the map in Jacob's region, just a bit off the bend in the road here, you will find a single skeleton. Now it looks like this guy's been eaten because there's fresh blood, but there is no flesh on his bones. Also seems to be a couple of boots and a bow, so he might have been a hunter. Heading back south, and this place is not marked on the map, but it does seem a bit interesting. If we grapple up here and head into this larger cave, we will find 2 dead bodies, but no evidence of what killed them. Back on the hunt again, and I started to think, well, what if there's a place hidden behind these photographs on the map? After all, there is half an X hidden behind a post-it note, so I went and checked it out. So there's the road, and if I swing around and head north, you'll find a little ledge here with the blue rope, so we'll climb up there. And there is actually a little cave here. Alright, so someone's been camping out. On the cave wall, there's a mysterious X marked on the rock there, which I haven't figured out what that means yet. But there's also a false wall here, which I will destroy. And we'll go see what's inside. Someone's definitely been living down here. Some supplies, some weapons. But if you look down here, there's a note. And this note says, "I tried yelling, banging, hell, I even tried shooting it. That damn bear still won't move." So this Roger bloke, he's obviously talking about encountering some big strong beast. He claims that it's a bear. I'm hoping it's Bigfoot. And to be honest, don't really believe in bears. Again, we're hanging out at the very furthest top right hand corner of the map. This is pretty much as far as you can get. And to the left here is the Veteran Center, just for a point of reference. And on Dansky's map, it's hidden behind a photo, but if you go check out this location, you'll find a cabin with another mysterious handwritten note. And this note talks about a person that revisits this place where a monster took his parents' lives. The note does mention a killer bear, but I think we know better than that. Okay, so I guess that's the guy who went to avenge his parents. Bad luck. And a couple of skeletons at the back, so these must be the parents. And look at this. This person's got a camera. So, Sasquatch hunting, question mark? This time to the top left hand corner of the map. And we're going to try to recreate this photo now. So I'll just take a quick look around. There's only so far you can go before the game counts you as out of bounds and kicks you out. But yeah, I can't really find that big rock, so I'm going to give up on that. For our final location in this adventure, I like this one a lot. If you hit up just a little north of Aubrey's Diner, there is a Bliss Farm. So if you look to the left here, you will find a Sasquatch poster, okay? And just beyond that, what looks like some bait. Got some meat here, and if you head on up to the ladder here, and if you climb up to the top, you'll find that there is a lawn chair set up as well as a camera pointing down to the bait. So very clearly someone out here is also looking for Bigfoot. This is in Faith's region, so it's a bit further out than what Dansky's map shows, and just raises more questions really. And that's pretty much all I've got. I feel like I've travelled all around Hope County and sadly no first-hand sightings. I hope to make some more discoveries soon and get one step closer to seeing Bigfoot. But if I'm being honest, there's pretty much two options here. I think either option one, Bigfoot's in the game and requires a very specific set of triggers. So I think maybe you need to be at the right spot at the right time and have the right companions. Or option two, Ubisoft is saving Bigfoot for future live events or DLC, so I think that's a good possibility also. Anyway, this wild goose chase has been fun. I'm really loving all this environmental storytelling in Far Cry 5, and I really can't wait for this big boy to be revealed. Well, thanks for hanging out and watching this video. It's been a lot of fun chasing these leads. I'll be putting out some more Far Cry 5 videos in future, so feel free to like and subscribe to my channel Stone Age Gameplay if you want to see more. And until next time, my name is Dizza. I'll see you in the next one.